I should double the patrols, just in case. Good luck. I hope you get the bastard.
Yes, yes. Again.
Sweet coffee, where am I?
Lepiotis recent ones.
Get him! He's escaped! Come on! Escape! We'll teach you discipline!
Didn't look like locals. Damien's right. I'm a hunted man.
You're pushing it, friend.
Falling on an empty stomach. Dreadful.
Come on, Roach.
This is Beauclair. Some flea-witten prophets.
Ooh, don't push.
Sacre bleu. It's a crime. You're from the north, that's painfully clear.
Excuse me?
There is no excuse. There is but the need to outfit you anew. My salon stands open. Please come in.
All jests aside, let me see what you got in your wardrobe.
I'm more than willing, sir.
Thanks. I think that's all I need for now.
Ever your servant, sir.
That's it, Roach.
Ah!
Oh!
Come on now. Slower.
Crowd around.
Nice tune. Someone needs an escort. That's something I do often, but might be worth investigating.
Come on, Roach.
Disperse! The exhibition of the Reginald Aubrey monument will remain closed until further notice.
Closed? Why, we wrote an entire day.
Late. Now, why does that not surprise me?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. My, Geralt. Not bad at all. And you've even a mask. Just not the kind required.
Huh?
They're a little different, the ones Mandragora members wear. I've brought you one. Put it on.
idea why they wear masks?
Likely because they imagine it oh so very romantic and mysterious. The truth is far simpler. This way, no one can tell which drunken aristocrats are pinching the performers.
Let's go. Soiree's started.
Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have let us in otherwise, that's certain. How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Soon as we find her, we find him. Especially since he might be expecting us.
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to welcome you to the Mandragora's soiree. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct your attention to the performances prepared by artists of our community.
Tell us about these performances.
This evening, the Mandragora has the honor to present 3 superb displays of artistry. The first was a concert by Cecilia Belont, a singer whose voice, were it stone, would surely be a diamond. Sadly, Mademoiselle Cecilia has sung.
Shame. We would have loved to hear her.
Luckily, you are in time to see the great Calesti, a master of visual illusions, come to us from far-off Afir.
Visual illusions. Interesting. And the third artist?
The third and fourth, for they are a duo, are the Tuven brothers, presenting their newest pantomime.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Belont.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have ample opportunity to converse with her.
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaveri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Kaveri orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Put your own house in order first.
To free a stone subtle soul requires great precision.
Go on, Geralt, be bold. Show us the artist in you. Paintballs, cast them at the canvas.
Discover your artistic soul.
Good folk, yet another soul longing to express its creative side. These humans, drops in the veil describe a different bronze, scarlet, crimson boxglove. Full sensual harmony. I got it! It's the Soreto!
It's not a landscape, you pleb. It's a manifestation of the man's soul.
Blue blood is all I see. Should you tire of the
Quite the noble color. Splendid! The sky over Toussaint before the storm.
Or a deeply internalized feeling.
To free a stone subtle soul requires great precision.
Greetings. Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and grab a different
Please do not disturb. One false move is to the entire. Free a stone subtle soul requires great precision.
Voila! Fine. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil. And defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
And defiance.
Please do not disturb. One false move.
It must be someone famous at him. Such talent. Exceptional, true. Why would I ever love to meet him?
Absinthe. The preferred hooch of artists.
Careful, it packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
The great one. This is definitely he's against your wants, as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle for power and influence.
Metaphor. What else will they think of? If they can't agree, they will cut the line. And you, the constant struggle.
The great one.
Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
About to burst.
Ah,
Surfeit of
how beautiful. Look, lanterns. They say the season brings
Let's
good
give it a
luck.
try.
The dolphins never suspected you believed in such things.
pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretentious. So much blah, blah, blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. It's all about two things.
Sure, good to see you, Geralt.
Do take care, Mitya. What's that? My regards.
Well, hey there. Hello. Mon ami.
Greetings.
It's an outrage. Cecilia never should have performed tonight. We wish to be alone. Please, leave. We are busy.
But are you sure it's an original? Please leave. Leave us be. Please leave. This is...
I remind you that you did leave. Do not disturb! Shoo! Shoo!
It's the right flower.
Of course it is! A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
To me?
Lie still! You may speak, but for love's sake, do not move.
Wow. Impressive portrait.
I know the style, the stroke. This is Dorian Velez.
The gracious lady has heard of me?
I've heard Anna Henrietta herself wished you to paint her portrait once.
At one point, the palace chamberlain even wrote to me, but, alas, ultimately refused my terms.
What was the matter?
When he learned I only ever paint nudes, he severed all contact. He said he would not dare offend her illustrious highness with such a proposition. I've always longed to paint her. Such a shame.
I think you may still get your chance.
We came here to meet you, specifically.
To meet me? But why?
Cintrian Noble you came here with. Wanted to ask you about him.
Cintrian Noble. Ah! You must think I'm Cecilia.
Orchid confused me.
I told you not to move!
As she concluded her performance, Cecilia tossed the flower into the crowd. I caught it, but I did see the nobleman.
Really like to talk to him. What did he look like?
Like many here. Tall, dark, masked.
Know where he might be now?
He gave Cecilia a small gift, a heart-shaped box. Then they strolled off together towards the refreshment tables.
Excuse me, madame, monsieur, I cannot work like this. You must leave now.
We must show off the magic.
Love letter penned on a napkin. Look.
Oh, my amour, my sunbeam flittering across the firmament of my life. Treacly refuse.
Color is but the shadow.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions.
This was scratched. Someone beat him with it once.
Empty, heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. A gift from the Cintrian, I imagine.
Scent still hangs in the air. Let's follow it.
This place That's very
Pretty colorful, that's what.
ignorance.
Aren't they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat tired.
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come, we must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh! Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
I hope we can count on your discretion.
Of course. I shall be silent as the grave.
Looking for Cecilia Bellant. Seen her?
She's in her dressing room, where she went with a nobleman. They clearly were drawn to each other.
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered, a black beard peeping out from under his mask, and he spoke with a foreign accent, a drawl of sorts.
That must be him. We must get to the dressing room, quickly.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll take you.
No, stay here. Anyone tries to flee, you stop them.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs. That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana. At once. She should bring her soirée to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine. Go after that rogue. I shall fetch help.
fingerprint. It's his. Tore down the door. Made a platform. Clever. Must be pretty strong, too. Broke the flower pot when moving the door, then stepped in the soil. Footprints, made by soiled boots. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Bloodstains. Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it, hard, then sank to the floor. Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Sconce is bent, smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it. Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out, fall out. Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like. Hunting knife, richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this, must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewel was in the box, it seems. Centurion tried to steal it, but someone got in his way. They fought, struggled, that's clear. Ended with one of them flying out the window. Fall had to have killed them. Jewel's still here, though, so our Centurion must have been the flyer.
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body together. Then he set off in pursuit of the killer.
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centurions killed his last. Finally failed this time. Shame it happened too late for Cecilia.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males badly.
but I would never have suspected she could arrive with a murderer. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. Meanwhile, we should sit. I will tell you everything, in full detail. I caught him red-handed, attempting to burgle, rifling through my possessions.
What did you do? Summon the guards?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so I attacked. He struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He
fell out of the window.
Just so.
None too wise picking a fight with an armed robber.
Why? Because I'm a woman, in a frock rather than plate. I can take care of myself, I assure you. A hairpin might look like mere ornament, but plunged into an eye, it can be as effective as a blade.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm. After this is my guess. Picked it up while searching.
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint. Oriana, how did you ever come to have it?
I bought it, many years ago, from a young woman.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you walked into the room?
Yes. He stood over my dressing table, pouring through my jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Why, that's the...
I bought it.
Jewel seems important. Why?
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then it disappeared. I didn't think we would ever recover it.
Seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left his tool bag behind. Found this drawing inside it. Look.
The heart of Toussaint. Representation's pretty faithful. Centurion must have been on a job. Got very clear instructions what to look for.
So it is not him we seek, but his employer. Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Duntine. Remember the place. Abandoned ruin just a few years ago.
More recently, the family's last heir, Roderick, returned to his ancestral seat and restored the castle.
Know any more about this Roderick?
His grandfather was an advisor to Queen Ademarta. The family received those lands as a grant for his service. Roderick is quite the recluse. He avoids society, preferring the company of a small team of knights, though the latter term is imprecise, as they seem more akin to vandals with crests on their shields.
Oriana, everything we discussed here, hope you'll keep it to yourself. Counting on it, in fact. Word gets out he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel. His employer could run. We need to proceed cautiously.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be troubled about it again. By anyone.
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
Oriana, any thoughts?
Few make me feel awkward, but in her presence, I sense anxiety, discomfort.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on. Drawn with the same ink, too. Seems the work of our blackmailers.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the Son Real and sought to steal the heart of Toussaint.
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
It could be something else altogether. My sister, Siana, might be among the schemers. She left court when we were children. My parents banished her from the duchy. I've not seen her since.
What did your sister do to get banished?
Siana was cursed.
Parents run afoul of some mage?
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she was touched by the curse of the Black Sun. Geralt, is it true? Can an individual be evil because they were born during the wrong lunar phase?
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth. Isolated, prodded, ostracized. Couldn't have had it easy, Siana.
She was angry at the whole world. She felt inferior, felt pain, though she masked this with confidence, arrogance even. She could also be cruel at times. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbird that she could see the future in her dreams. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten with me. It was an innocent childhood crush. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric of a dream she had had, that he would die at the hands of his own brother. Cedric stole his father's sword and killed his brother. She destroyed 2 lives with a prank. Cedric mourns to this day. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. A decade passed. More. I've missed her terribly since.
Think your sister might be involved? Why?
You see, I recall her always being rather possessive, throwing jealous fits if I had something she didn't.
Here, that's normal for sisters. Rivalry.
True. I suppose I gave as good as I got. There are times I miss that very much. The wine, its theft, was the first clue. That's very much like her. She always did enjoy stealing my toys, but I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift. At a time when my parents thought of her as but an ill-behaved little girl, someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen, or recovered. It's my sister. It must be.
A fallen princess satisfying whims, going after lost luxuries? Could be right.
Your mission has gained new import. You must go to Dun Tyne, and if Siana is there, you must find her. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way, shape, or form. You must make sure of that.
I'll find her if she's there.
I hope you do. I very much wish to talk to her. Sister to sister.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witch's Hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages. Literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. even that you are friends.
Few I can rely on like I can on Regis. Kinda hoping he thinks the same of me.
Curious. It seems opposites really do attract.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits. He merely hides them from the world very diligently.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see sword in hand. Talking gets the job done for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. For what might a monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trait for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher, and the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Detloff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous, and you were gonna watch him.
But that is precisely what I'm doing. Detloff believes you'll succeed in your task, and he'll not need to kill anymore.
That is, not until he gets his hands on the men who kidnapped his Renna.
Guessing it's no accident you two stopped by.
It would be quite some coincidence indeed. No, a dutiful little bird told us.
Oriana. She really your friend? Can she be trusted?
I met her years ago, before I met you, and before she settled in Beauclair. We'd not seen one another in... I can't begin to tell you in how long.
But I shall tell you all about her some other day.
Now listen close. Managed to learn where the blackmailers are. They're based at Duntine Castle.
That's splendid news. If they are there, Renna must be there as well.
Duchess expects we'll find her long-lost sister there too. Thing is, she might be involved. Could be behind the blackmailing.
Do you mean to say your task now is to extract 2 women from the castle?
Mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Detloff, who wants revenge above all else.
Geralt, you must trust me. I've got away with...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Detloff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I can make sure neither woman will come to any harm.
I hope you know what you're doing. Fine. I shall see to Detloff. Good luck, my friend.
Splendidly, Detlaff. Ah, I'm grateful you brought back those memories. You're back. It took you long enough.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might seem. Especially a wine to be served to 2 exquisite ladies.
Regis, gallant as ever. I regret all the more that I shan't finish this second bottle with you. Duty calls.
Your Grace, always a pleasure.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. Geralt, will you see me out? You have exceptional friends. This Detlef, an intriguing man to say the least.
Don't know him too well. He say much about himself?
Not much, but I've a good sense of the true nature of those I meet. I'd not survive a week at court otherwise.
So what's his?
Sensitive, sad. He carries within him the weight of a terrible tragedy. He is a good man, but lost, which is why he comes across as grim.
Didn't expect the evening to end like this.
Neither did I. But I have not drawn you out for a romantic stroll. I wish to make certain you know what you are to do.
Mm-hmm. Gotta go to Duntine.
I've decided my guardsmen will support you. You will meet them at Count de la Croix's mill. It stands along the Saône-Retour River, near the Cockatrice Inn. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at midnight. You shall storm the castle together.
As nasty as they make him out to be.
Unbelievable.
Appearances deceive, Witcher. Beware.
Another murder by the horrid beast! Milt of the Peyrac Peyron falls victim to his own cowardice. The beast of Beauclair has struck again. Citizens,
Yes.
I wish you health.
What a brute.
I won't go!
Leviota's
Summoning a Witcher? Was that truly necessary? And our gnats were on the Chop River?
I've 3 doublets, none of which are suitable to show myself.
The tournament. Am I too late to sign up? We've 1 slot free for anyone willing to play the Skellige deck. Yes, a face no ointment. I assure you, Skellige is just as strong as the other factions. It shall soon be considered canon. Of this I'm certain.
I don't know. Always been a Nilfgaard man myself. I must give it some more thought.
Geralt of Rivia. Saw a notice about a Gwent tournament.
By all means, you've come to the right place. I am Count Martin Monnier, Organizer-in-Chief. Our tourney's more than mere diversion. We've a mission, see, to spread word of my brother's brainchild, Skellige, a new Gwent faction.
These new cards. Tell me something about them.
Their design embodies the Isle's spirit. The rage-filled potency, the rough, brutal beauty. Famed Skelligers, heroes of lore, berserkers and beasts, ogle us from the cards. Bran Tuirsek is the faction's leader, of course.
And the other famous Skelligers?
Hjalmar and Serisan Kreite, naturally, though not conjoined. Also Hemdall the hero, the venerable druid Ermion, the list goes on.
New deck? Where'd you get the idea? I mean, why bother?
All Beauclair knows me as a great lover and promoter of Gwent. My brother, dead for some time now, was known to be the same. We shared another great passion, travel. Spent a great many years at sea in our youth, marking out our territory in multiple corners of the world. Yet the one that truly grabbed us by the stones were the Skellige Isles. The stormy sea, consumed by a fever, a suicidal awe, dashing itself against somber cliffs. That is the image I retain. It, and others like it, inspired my brother to devise the new faction.
The tournament. Where do I sign up to play?
Right here with me. I've 1 slot open, but there's a condition. You must use cards of the Skellige faction. You see, I've already asked a great many seasoned players to do the same. Alas, all fear novelties, disdain process, care too much for the climax for winning.
so they insist on playing with their tried-and-true decks.
Long story short, you need a sucker who'll risk it. Take a stab at proving Skellige's no worse than the established decks. Best way to do that'd be to win this tournament using your brother's cards.
We understand one another perfectly, I see. Behold this trophy, standing stiff and strong. It could be yours if you win.
Not bad. Could look great in my house. On the sideboard, maybe. All right, I'll give it a shot. Play using the new faction.
That is an exceedingly good rub to my loins. Just one small achoinder. I can only provide you a basic Skellige deck. My brother, alas, gave away or lost many key cards.
No chance I can win the tournament with these cards?
An issue easily resolved. You must simply face local Gwent competitors, win the missing cards from them. Besides, it would be very good practice for the tournament itself. Here, the cards I can spare you. Take them, please. The rest I keep for myself, for I, too, intend to play as Skellige.
Yes, no ointment could help.
Pure gold. That's it, Roach.
To send a witcher against the beast? It's as if one sought to treat the clap with cramps.
Oh!
Whoa! A witcher! A serious client at last. Tell me, what do you need? Honeysuckle? Ginacia petals?
Show me what you've got. How's business?
The coin is good, but just between us, I'm going batty with boredom. I know what my customers want before they open their mouths. Boltmen, birch sap. Ladies of all walks, whatever fragrance Duchess Henrietta prefers at the time. If just once somebody would order some poison, eh?
Show me what you've got in stock. Need to get going. Till next...
Old Gotish found his way to the Vortello, no doubt. That's the butcher of Blaviken. The Duchess summoned him. I wonder what for.
Nothing doing. Something reeks around here.
Giddy up.
I fedor for you.
man who dare not down some red is a man whose wife like to thump his head. Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Fauti. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
And what do you get for all that?
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great-aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to major domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path.
I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had...
The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the Duchess's permission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the ducal treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
The days pass. The pile of work remains the same.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes.
You smell that?
Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days. Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. During the raucous feasts Master Boleus held, he would order it filled with wine. There's a tale about a guest attending a Boleus ball for the first time and thus unaware of the custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda.
Just take the work. Is the pig done something?
Follow me, please.
A bushel of grapes is more abundant.
Monsieur Boleus' wife Nina kept a garden here. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory, and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
A bushel of grapes is more a burden than that steel of yours.
Don't steadily. My Camilec aches something fierce.
Even a horse drops if you ride it with a constant gallop.
This served as an additional wine cellar in years of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Boleus' time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
My stomach growls like an angry wolf.
And welcome inside. On the left, the bedroom. On the right, the dining hall and kitchen. Upstairs, you shall find the guest room, currently used for storage.
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will, together, devise some innovative arrangements. A few paintings, for instance, would breathe new life into the abode immediately. With that, sir, you've seen the full lay of the land. Corfo Bianco is a beautiful estate. Though one must admit, time has taken its toll. Forgive me for being forward, but if you were to choose to invest a small sum towards its beautification, consider me at your service on the matter.
Think I'll take you up on that. Be sure to come and see you if I decide to do any remodeling. Mentioned the place could stand to be spruced up.
Oh, most decidedly, sir. The question is where you would like to begin this rejuvenation.
Been thinking about the outer walls. Maybe a fresh coat of paint or some patching.
If I might dare to make a suggestion, why not start with a general renovation? I once oversaw such work at Admiral Rompelli's summer residence. The effects were simply breathtaking. Not only did the residence positively sparkle afterwards, but we also made room to display the Admiral's armor and weapons, of which he was a passionate collector.
It's in your hands then. Make the place shine.
I shall get to work immediately. Within a day's passing, I shall have sent for the crew which rebuffed the Admiral's residence. They are the finest specialists around. Highly skilled at what they do, it shall not take them too long, I wager. 2 days after they begin, your eyes will behold your residence in its refurbished, rejuvenated, beautified state. Is there anything else you require, sir?
That's all for now, BB. Thanks. Renovations coming along all right, Barnabas Basil?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks, each upon which you might hang weapons and armor, if you've some pieces you'd like to display. Likewise, I have prepared a few spots in which new paintings might be hung. In Athenus, the laborers dusting out the cellar have made a most unusual discovery. I believe it's something you'll wish to see.
If you say I should see it, I'll go see it right now, BB.
Work is the good to dance something?
A man who dare not...
Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. Laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time. BB, know anything about the laboratory in the cellar? One of the previous owners take an interest in alchemy?
A laboratory? Alchemy? I know nothing of it. But I understand that to a witcher this must be a very intriguing find.
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so it must have belonged to someone who lived at Corvo Bianco before you started working here. Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragonglass vials and flasks, stills, sublimators, vengerometers.
Forgive me, sir, but I fear I don't follow.
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of craftsmanship for use in alchemy. Brewing a concoction with this stuff versus doing it over an open fire? Well, there's no comparison.
Then I am all the more delighted you discovered it, sir.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
Something?
Ooh.
Hey, over here, please.
You make mountains out of molehills, Vilmar. That will be better than fine.
I must insist, Count. You'll be much, much the safer with us at your side.
Balderdash. Count, if I may. I believe you...
Heard you calling. Wanted to talk?
I did, for we're neck-deep in trouble. Of the spider kind.
Need a maid with a broom, not a witcher.
You fail to understand. These are huge. The size of pigs or dogs. Black and hairy, spewing webs.
Not talking about spiders then. Talking about arachnomorphs.
Call them what you will. You must smash the rogues, will you? Those caves would be prime barrel storage were it not for the beasts.
First things first. Need to talk about my reward.
I knew we would agree terms.
Arachnomorphs don't look much like bunnies, but they sure breed like them. Best nip the problem in the bud. I'll look into it.
Saying you're the Duke of this, the Duke of that, you're the Duke of some tittle.
Any tidings?
All taken care of. Went inside and cleaned up.
Thank the gods. And you too, of course.
Time I got back on the path. So long.
Lads, I find your concern touching, I do. Yet I've long awaited this day. So, you must forgive me, but I shall go through with it as planned. Ah, it seems my guide has arrived.
Greetings.
Greetings to you, White Wolf. I presume you saw my notice? Foolish question. You're here, thus you must have seen it. Forgive me, I should introduce myself. Count Belladal, a great admirer of your deeds.
Thanks. Not something we Witchers hear often.
But Count, sir, do you mean to go off with just this Witcher? A right hardy fellow he is, no ponce, I'm sure. But your expedition's too risky on the whole. And not taking us with you's, pardon my saying it, right daft.
You exaggerate, Vilmar. I believe I can manage to survive half a day without someone there to wipe me arse in my stead. My guards lament, Witcher, but you must forgive them. Now, to get down to brass tacks, as you've no doubt gleaned from the notice, I've a rather extraordinary proposition for you. I'm a lover, Witcher, of nature. A devotee of the wild. And Toussaint is home to several species not encountered elsewhere. I'd like you to accompany me on an expedition whose aim is to... preserve them. Yes. Naturally, you'll protect me should the need arise. My ever-vigilant guards, see, will report any reckless behaviour to my wife if I get so much as a scratch. And then woe will be me.
Count Belladal? Famous poultry farmer, is that it?
Well, that was my grandpapa. Dear man. But my trade is the wine trade. I import the finest vintages to Kavir, my homeland. The very reason for my frequent visits to Beauclair, during which I like to, partake of nature, let us say.
Really need a Witcher to, partake? Got guards of your own. Take them, save some coin.
I could, surely. But they too deserve a bit of rest, relaxation. Right, lads? Besides, I've plenty of coin. Coin that needs spending. Who dares stop me?
Ah, so this is about a rich man, bored stiff, seeking thrills.
There's also Clarissa, who...
Vilmar, please.
Who what?
My daughter. I always return from my travels with some souvenir or another. She looks forward to them tremendously. But we did not meet to chat about my family. We must discuss our venture, must we not?
Need some details before I can say anything. Where are we going? What am I supposed to do exactly?
In the roundest terms, we shall admire the local flora and fauna. And while we do, I might preserve a thing or two.
Preserve?
Of this device, see? The Parasticerback. It captures, likenesses.
A paracesta what?
It's like a movable megascope, capturing moments, transforming them into illusions, based upon which I then paint a painting.
So, you want me with you, looking at animals and flowers and...
Well, that's more or less what it amounts to, yes. Except you will first have to track down the creatures I wish to capture. I know only the very approximate locations of their habitats. Well, and should any trouble arise, we'll have your sword at the ready, right? So, agreed?
Pretty unusual contract.
I couldn't agree more, yes. And I'm prepared to pay a commensurately high fee.
Don't mind if we actually talk about exactly how high that'll be first, do you?
Why ever would I? Please, simply tell me how much you wish to receive. Sublime! We've a deal!
Doesn't seem hard. Be glad to do something pleasant for a change.
Sublime. In that case, here's your map. Before coming here, I dispatched requests to several local hunters. They located the habitats of the species of interest to me and marked out their ranges on the map.
Good thinking. It'll save us some time. Won't need to track. Ready to go?
Yes, let's. The light seems perfect just now.
Fetch this empty net, sweep up here, box it all.
Seems I got the map, so I'll lead. Wouldn't rather be out here with those guards of yours?
You jest. It's deliverance to emerge from under their wings. Believe me, they're overprotective. Oppressively so. I wish to admire the wildlife. Preserve it. Not watch them kill it in a fit of misguided fear for my life.
What if the wildlife attacks us?
Then we shall have no other recourse. I do not wish to be something supper to you, but as long as they remain calm, we've no need to provoke them. It's of the utmost importance to me, in fact.
Map says there should be panthers around here. Stay close. Keep your eyes peeled. Something like a
But
bear.
one request, Witcher. Avoid bloodshed, if at all possible. Ah! Get up!
Stench. Hear that? Panthers.
Frankly, I did not hear a thing. Clearly, your senses are far more acute than mine. I must rely on them.
Damn poachers. Snares. Looks like they were hoping for a bear. Panther got caught instead.
Will you help them up?
Give it a shot. Gotta calm her first. Likely to lunge at us otherwise.
Brilliant. You freeing her. A superb image. Brilliant. You freeing her. A superb image. Folk call witches heartless. This will put the light to that.
Parastysomax upset the animals. Better get out of here.
Cannot abide poaching. Content you share my love for animals.
Got pretty broad interests for a man of the city.
I suppose I dabble in my share of things. Wine, nature, painting. I imagine the life of a witcher must be rather more monotonous. With all due respect.
It is. Never boring, though.
I, for one, cannot fathom only ever consorting with the same creatures, day in and day out.
Got a wife? Shh. Hear him.
It's those...
Centipedes. Giant. Underground tunnel burrowers. Make a distinct sound. We can use that to track them. Sounds loud and clear here. Must be near the nest. We're here.
Well, this vantage point's no good. I shan't capture a good image from here.
All right, wait. We'll find you a better spot that's safe, too. Tread lightly. Giant centipedes sense the softest sounds, the lightest vibrations. You wake one up, it wakes up angry. How about here?
I don't know. Isn't it a bit close?
Right. We'll find another spot. Seems like a safe spot.
Safe, perhaps. But it offers no view whatsoever.
Fine, we'll keep looking. Here, maybe. Distance seems right. Light's not bad either.
Yes, this will work perfectly. Can you lure them out?
Give me a minute. Need to think. Vibrations. Gotta send some through the ground. I'll try tossing a bomb or casting a sign. And you watch out. Don't get any closer.
An excellent day for capturing moments. Truly magnificent, that one. Move on now. Exhilarating. Positively exhilarating. Thank you. I've one more request. Local peacocks performing their mating ritual. I'd love to see that. Apparently, a flock dwells not far from here.
We can go. Just don't count on peeping at them while they mate. Season ended a month back.
Oh, that's terrible. I so wish to capture their splendorous tails in full bloom. Is there nothing you can do if they prove uneager to present? Perhaps challenge them somehow? Goad them?
What did you have in mind? Don't have a tail myself, and I'm not likely to sprout one anytime soon.
My thoughts were more along the lines of witcher magic. They say you can exert influence over lesser creatures.
Yeah, guess I can try. Can't promise you anything, though.
Splendid. Consider me contented. I cannot pinpoint the flock's location, but a hunter I know told me a few likely spots. I'll mark them for you.
All right. Let's go find some peacocks. I was wondering, why peacocks?
My daughter is rather fond of them. They will be a treat for her.
We're close. Eyes in the back of your head. A feather from the rump, coated in suet. Cock shed it recently and the suet's got a distinct scent. Ought to be able to track the flock.
A witcher in action. What a treat to watch.
Hear that? They're calling to each other.
Fabulous. We're getting close. Oh, that's lovely. No! What are you doing? Do not kill them! So much blood. This is tragic. I made a terrible mistake taking a witcher along. This is not what I expected. I was to immortalize the peacocks, not their butchered remains.
I know. Sorry. Instincts get the better of me sometimes.
I suppose I too am to blame. I should not have taken a witcher on an expedition like this. Never. Oh, let us return to camp.
Returning your lord to you, safe and sound.
You've our gratitude, Master.
You see, lads, there was nothing to fear.
Thank you, Witcher, for looking after our day count. Seems the jaunt did 'em wonders. Breathed some new life into 'em.
Wait here a moment, Geralt. I have to fetch my coin pouch. Pay my dues.
New life? He was feeling down?
Made no mention, did he? 10 years back, his last, Clarissa's her name, took a spill off her horse. Been bedridden ever since. Cannot walk of her own. She'd been the life of the house before the calamity. A merry sprite what filled every corner with joy. Count would oft take her out on trips. She loved animals too. Excursions he makes now, or rather, paintings he brings home. They's her only window on the wider world.
Sorry to make you wait. Some of your shenanigans proved a little unnerving. Yet I still consider the day a success. Seems even witches have a sense of humour. Do something deranged at times. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm a wild and crazy guy.
Your reward. Use it well.
Thanks.
I've one other matter I wish to broach. In a few days' time, I shall exhibit my work for some friends, my coterie, so to speak. Would you come by?
Why not, if I'm in the area?
Splendid. In that case, I'm staying with a friend while in Toussaint, near a village named Francolar.
I'll be by. See ya.
Damn it! Watch where you step,
I'm off
fool.
to the hills, quick as a flash. Those girls can't wait to see.
Run, Roach. Not so fast, Roach.
the more you beat them, the better they are!
Hey there.
As a whole suffers from impisco.
Best cure for the beast, a witcher.
Hey-ya!
You've the look of a knight. Over there.
The beast is punishment for our lax moral.